Kohler. The only upperclassman, though, is Sinai Young. And then for the FGCU Eagles, a couple of NJCAA Player of the Years in there. Julia Grabishik-Chabo, who won the award last year at Florida Southwestern with head coach Thais Faziketo-Allen. Both make the move here to FGCU. Barbara Kohler, the veteran there, who had won that same award a couple of seasons prior for the Bucks across town. But a good group here with FGCU. They've had a couple of top 25 matchups early in the season. Both lineups presented by our friends at NCH here tonight on ESPN+. Their head coach, Kara Hellman, her 5th year at the helm of the Wolves program. We are underway. The Eagles get the opening serve. Abby Tennisgetter returns the one ball back over and picks up a kill on the first point of the match.
Well, that's why she's in there. If she can control the net physically, she's definitely a presence.
We talked with Coach Allen earlier today, and Thais said that Abby is one of the more aggressive, offensive-minded middles that she has out of the 3 that she'll rotate in and out. And Boer delivers her second serve, pass tight towards the net. Back over now for the Eagles, and that'll end up being a kill for Valerie Shumus, who picks up her first kill. She was our highlighted player for the Wolves, who will now get their first rotation off the bench. Riley Henderson has entered now for West Georgia. Shumus now back to serve, the freshman from Gainesville, Georgia. Eagles get their first rip from Ava Smith. Sent back over onto FGCU. Another chance now. Near side on a roll shot from Barbara Kohler, who's back up at the net, loses the joust, stays with the Eagles. Another shot now for Smith from that far side. Near side now for Henderson. She's met by the block for FGCU. It's 2-0 Eagles.
Yeah, Kohler really knew what was going on in that play. She's at grad year student athlete for the Eagles, so she's got a lot of experience. She didn't have to make big moves on that block.
Barbara Kohler, 5th in the A-Sun in kills per set, averages just under 3 1/4. She serves now for FGCU. Go to Henderson, who goes with the short tip. The Eagles on the far side, Grabishik-Chabo on the attack. Back now to Henderson, past the 10-foot line, rolls it to the back line for Kohler. Quick in sequence for Tennisgetter, back over on one from Addie Franz, and now another block. This one pulled off the block of the Wolves. It's another point for the Eagles, who are quickly out in front.
Yeah, Chabo's somebody that you're going to watch tonight. She's going to get a lot of sets. She's going to get a lot of out-of-system sets. But boy, when that set is nice and flat all the way out to the point, she knows how to do the block.
Kohler from the right side. Low pass there from Schmooze. Now on the attack for her sets. Tennisgetter with the attack. She hits it out of bounds. Point for the Wolves. It's 3-2.
Yeah, those long ones work really well for Tennisgetter. She just missed that line, but that's the spot that she's aiming for. When the set gets crossed her left shoulder, she's going to take the ball where it needs to go, and that's the left side of the court.
Alex Stratting, the 6-foot sophomore, serves. Jump set and a big swing by Chabo. And it's passed back over and out of bounds. 4-2. Now, Julia Grabishik-Chabo picks up the kill. At double-digit kills now in 4 straight matches and 9 out of the 12 she's played this year as Tennisgetter heads back to the service line. Eagles in their pink tops for Mean Girls Night here. The Wolves in their black uniforms. Both teams with royal blue accents. Roll shot from Kohler met by the Wolves. Net takes an attack. She's blocked by Battle. Back over again. Battle, a second touch up at the net. Well, this one's just out on that far sideline.
Yeah, Sinai Young is, probably almost the only senior on this team. She's a huge leader. She's a captain, and she knows how to tool the block when she's up there. So good job for Sinai getting another point on the board.
Nahi Kashmeric in for the first time. Tough serve here. No play made. That'll be an ace for the Wolves. Also in Anna Marzella, who had entered as the second libero for the Eagles. She came in a couple of points ago.
Well, Maggie does a nice job on that back line. She comes in with a purpose, and that is to get the Eagles out of system.
Kashmeric serves for the second time. Now Battle with the swing. Ava Smith with the kill. The redshirt sophomore from Indiana.
She's up there pretty high, isn't she? She's got a nice jump. She waits for that ball and she attacks at a high point of contact.
Alicia Vikishkra is in to serve now, the junior from the Czech Republic. Previously played at Akron. The left hand she serves. Over there from Henderson. Now back over for the Wolves again. Off the tool of the block. There's the kill for Sinai Young. She gets it off a battle in the middle.
Yeah, she just holds it through. I mean, she's got no fear up there. As a senior, she just hits it hard, tries to find those hands. I give her a lot of credit too, and that's what you have to do as a middle. Sometimes you have to test that block.
Now all tied at 5. The serve goes long. The Eagles retake the lead, 6-5. Molly Brunell back in. And back to serve, Julia Grbišek-Chabo. Another look at head coach Cara Hellman. Chabo serves to the libero Creamer, excuse me. Now over, easy free ball. Kohler picks up the swing. One arm stab by Kashmir to keep it alive, but then hit into the net by Schmoods.
I'm watching Addie France over there work really hard in those moves defensively. 2 great ups for her team.
A couple of great defensive digs. The rest of the offense couldn't pick her up there. Chabo now serves. Received by Kashmir. Eagles have a chance to keep this one up off the net, but then it ends up finding the court.
Yeah.
Lead back down to a single point with Stratting back in as well for the Wolves.
I really like how they were using Sinai Young up there. As long as she's up there in that front court, they're going to find her, and she knows how to bring the kills for the Wolves.
Creamer, the freshman from New England, as that serve goes long. Another look here at the head coach and Cara Hellman here, leader of the Wolves. We talked to her earlier today about how young of a team she has now in her 5th season leading this program.
Yeah, she definitely said that her team is learning on the fly, and she's very proud of these young women. They work really hard day in and day out. They just haven't gotten the wins as easily. Converting from a Division II only, a couple of years ago to a Division I is a big adjustment, and the Eagles sure know that too. They were in that situation at one point.
Addie France just won a joust against Barbara Kohler to get it back to the Wolves, who will now have France back to serve. Finds Marzella with the serve. Kohler with the swing, dug by the libero Creamer. Now an attack for Schmoods. Back down, and Tennis Getter up with the block. She had an assist there from Camila Soto, redshirt freshman from Puerto Rico.
Yeah, good patience by Tennis Getter. Again, not making those big moves, just making those small moves, but efficiently.
Ava Smith back in, rotating onto the front line. Hannah Borer back to serve. The senior out of Ohio and a transfer from Texas Tech. Received by Schmoods. Eagles rolling now with Kohler, who gets it off the top of the block. Another kill for Barbara Kohler as we get a look. Head coach Thais Baziketo Allen, 3-time national champion across town at Florida Southwestern, and now here with the Eagles in her first season as a Division I head coach after a decade in junior college ranks. Another block by Tennis Getter, one of the players that came here with Coach Allen from Florida Southwestern, and looks as though they're going to call a lift here on the Eagles. Henderson back in, back to serve is Schmoods.
Yeah, just a little fumble in the net by Kohler over there. Get a little impatient sometimes. It's something that they just clean up on the next play.
Kohler receives the serve. Tennis Getter, quick in sequence, picks up the kill.
That was a great connection too. Running at 6'2", you would find it sometimes a little hard. You've got 2 setters coming in at different times, setting different people. So that was a really nice connection. You'll see Tennis Getter giving her props to her setter.
3rd kill for Abby Tennis Getter now. Big rip over towards the front row of the stands. Marzella keeps it in play, and Kohler sends over the free ball. Wolves get another shot here. Eagles now with Grbišek-Chabo trying to get it off the top of the block, and there was a tip there on the block. So Julia Grbišek-Chabo picks up the kill. That's her 4th.
One of our longest rallies yet, Andrew. For sure, good transition play by Chabo, seeing those hands and going after it, and that's what a veteran will do. Not a big spike approach to go into that play, but she saw those hands.
Barbara Kohler serves. roll from Stratton. Eagles go back to Chavo. She's met with a block. Big at the net were the Wolves on that one.
Yeah, Alex Rading up there, ready and waiting. She's got those long arms, and you just want to make sure that you're pressing over at the right time.
Stratton serves to Kohler. Ava Smith with the attack, kept up just barely. A couple of nice defensive plays there from the Wolves. Smith, another chance, and she bounces this one down in front. That'll extend the margin, 13-9. It's a 4-point lead.
Oh, that sure is fun. I got a team fired up on that one. You know, when there's no block, you can really pound that ball if you're Ava Smith. And I like how her setter got a second. She gave her a second chance in that rally.
Tennis Getter now back to serve. Abby gets it below the tape, and the net eats it up. Service error for the Eagles here. Cashmere back in, and she'll head back to the line in rotation to serve. Cashmere serves to Marzella in the back corner. Back line attack from Grubishik Chavo, and she picks up another kill.
Yeah, Kohler did a nice job of really going after that 10-foot line. Setters do a good job of making sure that those back row attackers are going behind and really finding it. So nice job by Barber.
Skova now back to serve. Passes up right towards the net. Ayana Battle reaches up and sends it back down on the overball. Timeout now on the floor called by the Wolves. It's 15-10. FGCU out in front of West Georgia here. As we'll head to a break on ESPN Plus.
Which are the numbers that they want. I mean, they're definitely spreading the offense, which is great. Something they've been working on, but hitting way above 200, which is good news for the Eagles.
West Georgia hitting under 100 on the other side of the box score. Roberta goes for the attack with Henderson, dug out by FGCU. Another backline chance for Grubishik Chavo, and kept alive and sent back over by Henderson. There's a kill on the outside for Grubishik Chavo. Julia picks it up. Took her a couple of tries, but that's another kill. Gives her 4 on the match to lead the way on both sides. Chandler Swanson now in. Aggressive serve, nice job there by Alishka to pick up the kill.
Yeah, and she had such a good serving night the other night against Stetson. I believe she had 4 aces, and definitely the timing was great because of that 5-setter.
We'll keep it where they had those early challenges and those tough opponents out of the gate. Skova ready to serve again. Lefty off the right corner. Cross court with it, and Creamer sends it into the second row. It's another ace.
Man, when you feel it, you feel it.
The Eagles now starting to run away here in this first set. An FGCU team that has the second fewest aces per set in the A-Sun. That's going to make it 3 in a row as they add to that total and try to move up those rankings. And these aces are coming in bunches here in set 1.
Well, West Georgia, unfortunately for them, has had some injuries, and one of those injured players is a serve receive specialist. So I know they've been working really hard as a team to get better in that department.
They keep this one alive, and they'll have a chance. They break the streak of aces. Eagles back on the attack. Marzella over onto the corner for Chavo. And Julia Grubishik Chavo picks up another kill to keep the run going. That's her 5th of the match to pace both sides.
Yeah, that was a good reach by her, a little out-of-system play. West Georgia just needs to stop the bleeding right now.
Eagles now ahead by 10. We were tied pretty early on in this one, about 5-5, 7-7. We were still in that range, and then FGCU has just gone on a couple of really long runs here to move the margin around as Swanson heads out and Marzella effort by Creamer. Block to get the Eagles a second look offensively. Now they go to Kohler on the other side, and Barbara Kohler picks up the kill.
Nice job by the setter, Alishka, to push it all the way, pin to pin, nice and flat, really creates that spread in the block for that kill by Kohler.
We'll keep it. Chavo trying to wrap up the first set. Two Wolves go for the serve receive. Nobody's there to make the second touch. And it's another ace for Michigan. Chavo picks one up.
Yeah, I think Schmooze would like that play back. She's probably thinking about hitting, and that's what happens if you're a 6 rotation player. You gotta pass first, and then worry about your swing later.
Julia, low serve. See it by Kashmeric. Back over for the Wolves again. And the block is kept up and sent over, but no, they're going to call a lift early after the tangle up at the net, and that's the right call.
Yeah, I think Battle was there. She just, sometimes if you block a little early, the ball's going to come and float in front of you just right there, and she kind of popped it up with her forehand. So, again, it's just timing on the block and knowing when to put your hands over the net.
For this Wolves team, they have allowed the second highest attack percentage in the ASUN, but they're last in hitting percentage. So defensively, they're allowing a lot of kills, and then on the offensive side, they're not delivering, which is part of where they end up in all these rankings here. But trying to battle back here in this first set. Creamer serving, and there's a rip from Ayana Battle for the Ohio native, 6'1", and the senior picks up another kill to bring set point.
And that set is not that high. That set is very low, and she's only swinging about an inch over the net. So when there's no block, that ball's going down.
And Marzella, the junior from Milano, Italy, serves it into the middle of the net. This first set will play on for at least another point here for the Wolves. Heidi Franz is back to serve. She's that freshman setter who's now been thrown into the spotlight, going from the 6 or the 5-1 rotation that they're going with now. Shot too far, and that's beyond the back line. A couple of points in a row now for the Wolves, who are trying to get back within single digits.
Yeah, just a tight set over there for Soto. Her body just kind of beat her arm.
Low serve, another set here for Tennisketter. Fournette, second attempt. Stratton gets it over. Eagles go to Kohler, and Kohler picks up the kill to wrap up the first set. Barbara Kohler has the final say here in set 1 as the Eagles take it 25-14 on. You're watching Division I of college volleyball on ESPN Plus alongside Liz Tortorella and Nelson. Heidi France, the freshman setter, will have the opening serve in set 2. That one dropped off. And Tennisketter with the opening attack for the Eagles in the second set. Roll shot over Tennisketter. Marzella with the diving effort. Now Kohler goes cross court. And Schmooze goes long, and it's 1-0 Eagles on the attack error to start set 2.
Yeah, Schmooze is going to get a lot of junk out there, out of system balls, but also they're going to try to find her no matter where she is. But on the flip side, the Eagles are really tuned into her. She's going to have a double block against her at all times.
Barbara Kohler gets the first serve for the Eagles, and she picks up an ace there. Could also be a receiving error. It was right at one of the Wolves, but flanked off towards their own bench.
Yeah, and along with being that 6 rotation player, Schmooze is going to get picked on quite a bit off of that serve.
The Eagles had 4 aces in the first set. Pick up an early one here. Overpass for Tennisketter. It's right on a tee, and Abby picks up the kill.
Yeah, great fast point opportunity for the Eagles to get them on the board fast. And it's all about the runs in this crazy game of volleyball. You got to serve tough to make it easier on your team up there.
Third serve for Kohler. This one goes to Creamer. Couple of Eagles. It's Krivishik's Chavo who taps it up, but not a playable pass there. That puts West Georgia on the board here in the second set. Marzella rotates in for the Eagles.
Yeah, nice tip by Grace Blythe to to get something going for her team offensively, finding an open spot.
Moves back to serve from the left side. Valerie sends it to Anna Marzella. Abby Tennisgetter quick in sequence, another kill. Nobody was up to block her, and if you give Abby Tennisgetter that much room, she's going to pick up a whole lot of kills.
Yeah, nice first ball side out. Perfect pass by Marzella. And look at that run there, just a one-on-one opportunity for Tennisgetter. She can take a crossbody or go straight on.
Stratting was a little late.
Yep.
A little late and by herself. Those are a bad combination against Abby Tennisgetter, who's now going to pick up an ace. Eagles are rolling with the aces here tonight.
Yeah, they're really picking on Schmooze back there. They're targeting her. Let's see if they make a change here for West Georgia. Sometimes they move around the serve receive. Right now she's staying put.
Tennisgetter low serve. Back-to-back aces for Abby Tennisgetter. That's 3 aces, 6 points in for the Eagles in this second set.
Yeah, with Tennisgetter, that 6'3" frame back there on that serving line has a nice trajectory over the net. It drops off the table pretty fast.
See if she can make it 3 straight. This one passed on the court, so that'll end the streak of aces. Block attempt ends up coming down on the Eagles side as it drops in front of Ayana Battle.
Yeah, Grace Blythe did a nice job. Big, strong, hard approach, but then slowed down her arms. So a nice, tricky play for her on the right side.
Now Stratting, the South Carolina native. Sophomore lets the serve rip. Kohler, tight pass, just pull it off the net. And there's a big swing. Ava Smith picks up the kill and gets it right back to the Eagles.
Well, let's give that point to Hannah Borer as the setter. Can we do that, please? A great pass, too, but Hannah really drew that left side blocker in and jumped up, and that middle had nowhere to go with it.
The box score won't give her the point, but we can,
No,
certainly.
that's right. I know. We need to change up those stats. What do you think, Andrew?
Well, she'll get the assist. She still gets Chavo roll shot towards the middle of the court. Everybody dives, and it ends up going off a couple of Wolves, but doesn't get it over the net. It's a kill for Julia Grabishik-Chavo.
Yeah, scrappy play over on the other side for the Wolves, but again, you gotta make that ball better on the second time around. So if you get a touch, you gotta make it a little bit higher each time so your teammate has a chance to get it over.
Vicky Scova's serve is sent right back. Eagles get a block then instead. Big at the net was Sanai Young, the senior from Kennesaw, Georgia.
Yeah, just holding her ground too. See, Battle kind of turned it right back into the block, and Sanai was there.
Now Cash Merrick to serve. 5'8" sophomore out of Illinois. Eagles are gonna miss wide there. Marzella celebrated, as did a couple other FGCU players, thinking they were getting the point there. A bit of a double take. Ends up being an attack error. Another point for West Georgia.
Yeah, nice job by Sanai too, holding ground, not reaching out for that ball.
Kashmeric serves to Chavo. The set goes to Chavo, and Julia lets it rip but misses as she tries to turn that line. Back-to-back attacking errors now for the Eagles.
And this is what you can do with a good server, right there. Maggie's back there on that serving line, putting the Eagles in a situation where they're creating some errors.
They again go to Chavo. She again attacks. This time is met by a block instead. Second effort now for the Eagles. They go on the near side here with Camila Soto. And the redshirt freshman picks up a kill.
So they want to run that really fast tempo offense, so if they get their pass going, they have both pins to work with on that flat ball all the way out to the pin.
First kill of the match for Soto. She's third on the team with 95 kills entering the match. Trying to get to triple digits on her season as that attack is off the antenna. Point FGCU, and Chavo will let another serve rip. Julia cross-court serve, received by Kashmeric. And Chavo plays it. Ends up not being able to corral it in on the attack from Henderson. Brunel rotates in. She'll head back to serve. We'll also have Marley Statson, the senior from Georgetown, Kentucky. She'll enter for the first time. Now to Marzella, and it's a little long. Service error. Point goes to the Eagles. Addie France and Abby Tennisgetter both re-enter on the front line for their teams.
Yeah, good move by Marzella, making sure she fouls that ball all the way out.
Anna back to serve. Deep towards the middle. Touch shot from Sanaya Young. Ava Smith on the far side. This is long. Point for the Wolves.
Yeah, Soto gets a little bit ahead of the ball. You can see there, Andrew, she's tightening up her swing. Her feet need to stay behind her. Sometimes you get a little antsy and you're getting too tight to the net. When you create space between the ball and the net and you have a better chance of a better swing.
Marzella sends it over on one, and it's sent right back by the Wolves. We're able to close the gap here. It's just a 3-point game here in the second set.
And just be physical at the net and be aware, anticipate the next play. And that's what Alex did right there in the net.
That was Stratton who just picked up the kill. Marzella served again, sent back over on one again. This time, though, the Eagles will get at least a chance offensively. Kohler tries to knuckle it. Tennisgetter sends it over, and it's just wide.
Yeah, just a little sloppy play, I would think, by the Eagles. You want to be a little bit cleaner on those out-of-system plays and be ready to go.
Now, head coach Thais Baziqueto Allen uses the timeout. The gap now at 2 here. FGCU leads 11-9 here on ESPN+. Olivia Creamer back to serve. The libero for the West Georgia Wolves here on ESPN+. They're trying to finish closing the gap and force a tie here in the middle of the second set, trailing by just 2. And that serve is a hair long. It's a tough service error there for Creamer. Gives the point to the Eagles and moves the margin back to 3.
I believe the coach is going to challenge that ball right there.
Kara Hellman will issue the
Take home.
Anna Borer back to serve. Senior setter out of Ohio. Wolves get the attack from Schmooze. Now Kohler counters. Back to Schmooze again. She rolls the deep line shot. Set by Swanson from the back, and then libero picks up the set. The offense gets the kill after.
Yeah, one thing about Kohler, she can really rip it on the left side. Even if the set is not quite there, she still takes a chance, really takes a chance on those blockers too. That time she passed up the block, did a nice job really aiming for those deep corners, those deep edges of the court.
Now Borer back to serve for the second time. He's 10th in the ASUN in assists per set. Averages just over 5.5. Swanson to Borer to Tennisgetter. 1-2-3. Abby Tennisgetter gets another kill.
Yeah,
They
and
have no answer for her.
That's right. Well, she's got a high reach, but if you give them a free ball, this is what should happen at this level. A perfect pass by Chandler Swanson. Great set. And a lot of times you're going to set your middle on those plays.
Tennisgetter picks up her 5th kill of the match. Now Swanson receives that attack. Bishop Chavo from the back line. Make it 7 kills for Julia Grabishis-Chavo.
Yeah, it's just fast right now for West Georgia. They've got to do a good job of really paying attention to the setter, trying to get those cues and figuring.
In store for us on her serve. Schmooze. Maybe out of play from Alex Stratton. Now leading by 7.
She's just trying to hit the corners instead of just attacking the ball. Sometimes you're afraid to hit right into the block where you should be just testing them and swing away.
5-point run here for the Eagles, looking to make it 6. Back line from Chavo. Kept up for the Wolves. That's in play. On the back line attack from West Georgia.
Yeah, Brunel did a nice job attacking that, really not taking her foot off the pedal. Nice, strong approach behind the 10-foot line. Had a lot of court to hit into.
Addie France serves, and that'll be long.
Yeah, and something they need to do too is serve aggressive. They don't want to create a lot of those errors from that serving line, but they do need to take Florida Gulf Coast out of their offense
aces. It's a 7-1 margin in that. Just one ace so far for the Wolves, as the Eagles have done a nice job on the serve receive. Excellent one-arm stab there, keeping it alive is Hannah Borer. Big block on the attack from Cornett. Chavo against the cross-court attack from Schmooze. Now Chavo takes a rip and turns line. They say it's out. And Coach Baziquetto Allen is going to call a timeout here. Maybe it challenged the call.
Nice long break. So
For one that looked a little cut and dry, especially once we saw that back line angle. Alrighty, we're ready to get playing again. Valerie Schmooze about to serve after a 5-ish minute delay that is carrying on. Six-point margin here in the second set. Back to work. Kohler receives. Attack and a kill for Ava Smith. So all that for the Eagles to get the ball back right away.
yeah, another first ball side out, something they practice every day, executing. And that's a big word for the Eagles right now, able to get that pass up. So Hannah has 3 options to set, whoever she wants.
Battle back in at the front line. Tennis getter back to serve. Had that run of aces earlier. Pancaked up, but they're going to call it down. That'll be a kill from the setter for West Georgia.
Yeah,
Over on 2.
That's a nice job by Addie France. Just something different. We haven't seen her attack. As a setter, you have to be an offensive threat. No matter if you're in a 5-1 or a 6-2, they have to focus on you, more so in a 5-1.
Service error there for the Wolves, and again they get the ball back, but they can't seem to go on a run and get multiple points going. Katharina Shorza, the freshman or the sophomore from Brazil in the USF transfer, has entered off the bench here for the Eagles.
She does a nice job coming off the bench too. Always adds a few kills right away for this team. Elevates in there with Marzella. So one plays defense better than the other, and the other can serve receive better than the other.
Ishka lets the serve fly, and that'll be a out of sequence awkward kill for the Wolves, who hardly got it over the net, but they got it over the block and in front of those backline defenders. Kashmarek now back to serve. Maggie serves to Grabishik Chavo. Eagles trying for a quick side out, and they will get it. That's off the antenna, so the trend continues here where the Wolves get the ball, but they can't get consecutive points. FGCU is right back to the service line with Chavo. Seven-point lead, make it 6 as Chavo hits it into the top of the tape. Now back in, and Molly heads back to serve here for West Georgia. Chavo, tight pass, pulled off by the setter, and then Kohler with the attack. Big rip from Schmooze, over on 1, back again. It was Young on the second attack. They send it over now. They play for Iskova. Diving effort, Marzella back over. What an effort by the Eagles. Iskova with the overpass there. Over on 2, Marzella, Iskova, Kohler, all the way to the back. Long set there for France. Another go for the Wolves. Roll to Marzella. And it's Iskora who ends up getting the kill after the lengthiest back and forth battle we've had for a point so far tonight.
Definitely the grit, and the fans love it too, because this is a long rally. Defensive moves on both ends, but Marzella, she is down and ready for any attack. Great job, Isabella
kill. The roll to Kohler. Chavo back line, lets it fly. 8 kills for Julia Grabishik-Chavo.
Yeah, and those two, partners in crime, I probably like to call them the two outside hitters for the Eagles, Kohler and Chavo, doing a nice job. They're both in full time, so you can get a nice rhythm with those two on the Eagles side.
Other one off the antenna. That has been pelted a few times here in the second set. And Anna Marzella will get a second shot to serve. Marzella serves it to Kuzmarek. That'll be the Eagles' point there. Set point here in the second. It was 25-14 in the first, and Marzella has a chance to duplicate that score here in the second set. Marzella, tough serve. Now tennis getter picks up the kill, and for the second straight set, the Eagles are victorious. Again, 25-14 for the second time in as many sets. And it's a 2-0 advantage in the match for FGCU.
Multiple kills for Tennis Ketter, doing a nice job. Look at this transition coming back to the 10-foot line, being expected to get this set.
All right, we've got a sideline interview here. Veronica Greco is standing by with head coach Gadsden. She's someone that I think they're going to specifically try to go to here in this third set because she hasn't been overly involved in the action in the first two. Third set underway. It's a kill for Valerie Schmooze to get it started for the Wolves to take a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, there's their first ball side out. Perfect. Great pass. They're able to run a nice, fast, clean set out to their number one, Schmooze.
Eagles hitting 293 through the first two sets. Wolves hitting 082. There's a big rip. Ava Smith with the kill to make it 1-1.
She makes it look so easy, doesn't she? She's got a great swing. It's very smooth. Nice transition off the net. Big, long arm swing. And gives herself enough space to swing all the way through.
Barbara Kohler back to serve. Kohler goes to Schmooze with that serve. Roll shot. That drops in front of Chandler Swanson after the diving effort from the libero, who now swap out here with Anna Marzella.
Yeah, I think it's smart. Smart for her to tip. They should keep tipping. That's how they're scoring some points up there. Force the Eagles to change it up defensively.
Right on the line. It's going to be the second ace of the match for the Wolves as it drops in front. Kohler gave it a sidestep, thought it was going to drift its way out. Catches the line.
Sometimes as a player, you hope those balls are out.
Yeah.
I think she really hoped that was going to go out.
Off the tape, Marzella. Nice serve received. Chavo takes a rip over towards the table, and that's kept alive by Schmooze. Now Kohler. And Chavo. Ripped again. This one dug out by France. Kohler back line to France. Kept up by Brunel. It's going to be a long run for Kohler. She gets a hand on it. Long way to go. Not enough legs. Hannah Borer gave it a good effort. She had to cover essentially a court's worth of distance over her shoulder. Full court.
Tough to dissect both of those plays over there. Love the beach moves by West Georgia. 2 in a row to protect the face there. Look at that. Addie France. Block's not right in front of her. You got to do that as a setter. You got to protect the moneymaker, Andrew.
Well, there's a block. That'll be protection for the Wolves. They got a lead here, 5-1. West Georgia here in the third. They've come out with a vengeance after a pair of disappointing sets to begin their evening.
Yeah, nice job by Brunel. Just getting her hands over the net. You don't have to go super high. The Eagles players are only hitting a couple inches above the tape.
There's another one. Brunel with her second block in a row as she gets the better of Ava Smith. And FGCU will use an early timeout. It's a 5-point lead for West Georgia, advantage in the match, but trailing 6-1 here in set number 3. Tough serve for Chabo. Now Julia with the attack. Keeps it short. Wolves will just send this over with Brunel on the free ball. Another chance for Chabo. Blocked out of play. Point and a kill for Julia.
Yeah, you kind of figured they needed to set Chabo on that left side pin since Brunel is just waiting over here. She wanted to get her third block in a row. It wasn't going to happen. Chabo does a nice job of tooling the block.
Tennis getter serves. Little bullet just over the net. And a block for the Eagles who get into the fun on their own. It's Mahuzi now who's into the action along with Smith.
Look at that arm span, good vision. She waits, really patient, and presses back in towards the center of the court. Nice textbook block. I
Told you she was due to get into the box score here.
Like, what's happening, Erica? We haven't seen any numbers along your stat line.
She's going to get into the fun. There's an attack from Young. Chabo gets another kill. Julia Grubish's Chabo. She's in double figures and has 10 kills in the match.
Yeah, that's a great spot, too. That's no man's land back there. Defensively, they're not rotating. They're just playing perimeter defense. So that alley shot is open for Chabo.
That's now 5 straight matches with double-digit kills and 10 out of 13 for the reigning Junior College Player of the Year. It's a kill for the Wolves to get them back on the offensive end. They extend their lead to 3.
Nice job by Grace Blythe over there. On the opposite, France really pushing it, going against the grain. Nduzi's a little late, create a little bit of split, and then really that's all you need to do if you're a setter. Create those splits for your hitters. Give them an opportunity to swing away.
Maggie Kashmarek with the serve. And that'll be a kill for Ava Smith. Gives her 6 on the match.
Yeah, way too comfortable for her, right? Hannah Bohr is doing a nice job of setting her up with a little kick at the end. She's got a great jump. Can't go too flat with somebody like Ava Smith. You got to give her a little bit of height. Take advantage of that reach and jump she has.
Alishka Vikiskova is back to serve. Long serve out by a couple of feet on the service error. Back to a 3-point margin. Marley Stats comes back in for the Wolves.
Yeah, West Georgia's probably thinking the skies for that one since Alishka can put up a lot of numbers back there in that serving line.
Now serves. Marzella with the reception. And there's an attack and a kill for Katharina Escorza.
Yeah, Escorza on the left side. Nice flat ball over there. Swings away. Defensively, West Georgia's got to get their feet stopped. I mean, you see here, they're still in motion. Escorza's swinging. And you need to stop so you're able to go for a ball in the correct direction.
There's a block for the Eagles. Did that get back in? It did not. Outside the line.
Good ball for Schmooch. You can see those forehands out in front of her. And she's going to take advantage. She's going to go for those high hands or those elbows to get that tool.
Stratting and Stats back in. And Creamer serves. There's Mahuzi, her first kill. Erica Mahuzi now becoming a factor here in set 3.
Yeah,
for the freshman from Sweden.
Chabo likes that. 3-point pass. One of the best passers on the team. Maybe the best passer on the team.
Now Anna Marzella to serve. Eagles still trailing by 2. Tough pass over towards the bench. Long way to go on the free ball. To Marzella. And Barbara Kohler. Picks up another kill, her 6th.
You know, it's hard when you have 3 offensive threats along the net for a team like West Georgia. When Eagles play a 6-2, you're always going to have 3 players up front, plus you have Chabo to worry about in the back row. So really hard for somebody like Alex Rating to decide which direction she's going to go and block.
Marzella sends that one into the net on the service error. Blythe Burnett comes back in, and back to serve now is Addie France. Barbara, long run. It's up, rolling it right to France. Kept alive after the initial block. Kohler now takes a rip off of Creamer. Now sent over by Brunel. And sent out by Molly Brunel. We are back to a 1-point difference here. Eagles with a chance to tie.
Yeah, the Eagles do a nice job. They stay in the rally and they finish the rally. So teams are very successful if they stay in it and they actually can win that point.
We haven't had a lead change at all. There's been a few ties, but we haven't had a lead change in all 3 sets. And we won't have one quite yet as the Wolves pick up a kill to make it back to a 2-point margin. But FGCU is hoping, as they have had a share of the lead at least wire to wire until this 3rd set where they have yet to have a lead. Trying to swap that up here. Schmooze with the serve to Kohler. Big swing by Ava Smith. She's been on a nice run here and picks up her 7th kill.
Yeah, great set too, all the way across the net. That's not easy to do, to get your timing. She's starting her approach right as the ball's getting into Hannah Boer's hands. So a lot of trust happens there between the hitter and the setter.
Katie Gillis is in now, the 6'2 freshman from Ohio. A Wolves point. There was a touch. That's what we were waiting to see.
Yeah,
very drawn out call by the official.
That's right.
He had that down to super slow-mo, raising the hands to make the indication.
Yes. Well, it probably helps when Gillis is shaking her head. Yeah, I did that.
Serves out. Back to a 1-point difference. Maguzi's back in, up in front. And Tennis Getter, who had the run of aces in the 2nd set, is back to serve. Abby going for the tie. Now the Eagles get it over. Gillis on the attack. And there's a big block. Once again, it's Mahuzi who's in the middle of it. Gillis helps as well, and we're all tied up at a dozen.
Yeah, nice job. Out of system play, so Mahuzi's over there. You got 4 hands right away. It's very simple. Big smile on her face.
Their 2nd block of the set. Now Tennis Getter for the lead. Save there by Barbara Kohler. Now Kohler on the back line. Back by Young. Now Smith. Backline rip for the Wolves. That's off of Tennis Getter and into the 3rd row. But we won't have a lead change quite yet. West Georgia moves themselves back in front by a point.
Nice job by West Georgia finding their go-to. Schmooze has had a couple good swings in the last couple points. 7 kills already for her. 23 attempts. So they like to find her wherever she is.
Smith off the face there of Schmooze, but that's enough to keep the play going. There's a big rip. That's Katie Gillis.
It's almost like a first tempo ball. That is fast. There's no block up.
That's where you're at with your 5th or 6th player coming off the bench at
Right,
that
right.
level of
That's
talent.
a good point, Andrew. Right. So here's somebody who's off the bench. You have to give love to your passers and to your setters for that one.
Alicia back to serve. Block for the Eagles. Keep it right near the net. 2nd attack for Brunel. Doug on the dot. Now Gillis with another attack. Another block for the Eagles, and FGCU has its first lead here in set number 3. It's 14-13. Timeout called by the Wolves. It's our first lead change in any of the sets. But here at the midway point, play here with the 1-point lead. Swanson over now on the tip shot. There's another kill for the Eagles, and this time it's Katharina Escorza gets the kill.
Yeah, way to identify defensively what's available on the court. Big transition play. Knew that libero was pretty deep on that line, so nice easy tip right over the block for a point.
Now a 2-point lead for the Eagles. Skova serves, and that'll be another ace. Olivia Creamer has it go off the forearm and towards the stands. Eagles on a nice little run here.
Got a lot of aces for the Eagles right now.
It's a 4-0 run to tie, take the lead, and extend the lead. Awkward play there. Kind of floating was Sinai Young. There's a big rip. This time it's Gillis again. They get 5 in a row. Gillis makes it 17-13 Eagles.
Just changing things up for West Georgia on their serve receive, so give them a different look.
Up serving to Brunel. He now attacks. Gillis goes deep and gets the roll.
She's got a lot of different shots.
See quite a few of the tools in the toolbox here from her. Limited opportunities, but she has shown at least a handful of tricks here that she has on the offensive side of the ball. Back to play here with the 1-point lead. Swanson over now on the tip shot. There's another kill for the Eagles, and this time it's Katharina Escorza gets the kill.
Yeah, way to identify defensively what's available on the court. Big transition play. Knew that libero was pretty deep on that line, so nice easy tip right over the block for a point.
Now a 2-point lead for the Eagles. Skova serves, and that'll be another ace. Olivia Creamer has it go off the forearm and towards the stands. Eagles on a nice little run here.
Got a lot of aces for the Eagles right now.
It's a 4-0 run to tie, take the lead, and extend the lead. Awkward play there. Kind of floating was Sinai Young. There's a big rip. This time it's Gillis again. They get 5 in a row. Gillis makes it 17-13 Eagles.
Just changing things up for West Georgia on their serve receive, so give them a different look.
Up serving to Brunel. He now attacks. Gillis goes deep and gets the roll.
She's got a lot of different shots.
Seen quite a few of the tools in the toolbox here from her. Limited opportunities, but she has shown at least a handful of tricks here that she has on the offensive side of the ball. A look there at the FGCU bench. Eagles leading by 5, trying to close out what would be their first sweep of the season and extend their win streak to 3, and then that would also make it 5 out of the last 6 matches. And early in the season where they had a couple of losses, those were against top 20 opponents, and they have, obviously you learn from those games, you're able to build off those, but you don't necessarily get something in the win column from them, and they've certainly taken those opportunities and run with them over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and it's fun. It's fun to play tough opponents. There's always, that's a great thing about this level too. There's always a chance you're going to get one of them. And they got a couple sets off of those strong opponents.
Get a dozen kills, pace her team. Kept Henderson in check tonight. She has just 1 kill as that serve goes long. That ends the streak of 5 in a row for the Eagles.
Yeah, good timeout, right?
Ice the kicker, ice the server. Brunel back to serve. Tucson, Arizona into the middle of the net. Another service error moves the Eagles a point closer to wrapping up this Friday night matchup. For the Wolves right now, they're a point away from surpassing their total from the first two sets. So that's a shallow victory, but still a victory here if you're able to add to the margin, which they'll be able to do here on the service error for Katie. So they do have a new match high in points as they get to 15. Christian Chavo is coming back in now for the Eagles. And back to serve is Olivia Creamer, the Rivera. Chavo with the serve receive. Kohler with the swing, off of Creamer and off the net. It's another kill for Barbara Kohler. She's got 7 kills to just 1 attack error.
Kohler is, again, comes through strong, another go-to player. 22 attempts right now for Kohler. Being 273. Good numbers.
Anna Marzella now back to serve. Floats it over. Back from Stratting. Now Kohler goes her second in a row, but kept up by the Wolves. Chavo diving dig. Kohler's second look, and she'll get the kill this time around. Make it 8 for Barbara Kohler.
She just catches those, her opponents with their hands back. And a couple things you need to learn as a young blocker is making sure you're up and over fast, not up and up straight up. You want to go up and over fast and hard. And Kohler's the experienced hitter. She knows that, so she sees those arms and she's going to go after them.
Zella slides over a couple of steps towards the middle of the court. Moves with the attack. Kohler responds, and Kohler picks up another kill, make it 9 for Barbara. Knocking on the doors of another double-digit kill match.
Great reach by Barbara, but look at that assist. Nice job by Alishka over there, setting her friend up.
Barbara's coming off a season-high 18 kills, which she's done twice. Double digits in 10 of the first 12 matches. There's an ace for Marzella. And the Eagles are just 2 points away.
10 aces right now for the Eagles. Double digits. It's impressive. Really confident in that serving line.
They've only been aced twice on the other side. 10-2 advantage there. Chavo, the tennis getter now, and Abby Tennis Getter in on the fun late here. That's her 7th kill. Now match point for the Eagles, trying to close out that elusive first sweep.
Yeah, just cross-body shot. When there's a one-on-one opportunity, that ball's going down.
Marzella lets it fly, and just long. Addie France now serves for the Wolves. Tough ball over on one. There's an easy rip and kill for West Georgia. Now Stratting there picks up the kill.
Yeah, give that point to the server. Does a nice job of taking the Eagles out of their offense.
Vicious Chavo. Now to Kohler, and Barbara Kohler picks up kill number 10 as the Eagles pick up the sweep and win the third set 25-17. And Kohler in double digits 11 times now in 13 matches. Took her to the final point here in this one, but she gets to double digits once more. And the Eagles have swept the Wolves here at Alico Arena.
The pin hitters really came through for the Eagles. A lot of fun to watch. The setters did a nice job of delivering the ball all the way around. Really impressive.